Hi, Robert Bonfiglio here. Today I'd like to talk to you about vibrato, the different kinds of vibrato that are available. The one that a lot of people use first did it on diatonic, but on chromatic as well, is the throat vibrato, where the glottal stop comes very close to touching and causes I remember using that on a diatonic harmonica where we would use the throat, and it basically is a smoothing out of that glottal stop and getting it to get caught in the pressure. Gets caught in the pressure, and it vibrates on its own. The problem with it is, for classical music and for the chromatic harmonica, is that when you start to get above the note G, you start to have the pitch go which is okay if you're playing a tune like Summertime. Because the bent note is appropriate, but in most classical music it isn't. So it's basically would be for classical music only used in the low register. The next vibrato is the one that I use the most, and that is hand vibrato. The hand vibrato I use is left hand. The reason I use the left hand is because the chromatic harmonica has a button. So in order to push it, you don't have to involve the right hand. The left hand makes the vibrato. Now this is basically a vibrato where you're going from a tonal color change, a slight pitch change, from closed and this is why I play the 2016, because it has these little louvers in it. And when you play with the little louvers, basically if you're cupping up here, it's completely closed, even though this area is open because of the louvers. And if you cup down here, same thing. Now, this type of left hand vibrato, either the two fingers in the center, the index finger controls the harmonica, the pinky controls the hands, so you can turn them, move them. The two fingers in the center make the vibrato, is very effective. You can start non-vibrato, have vibrato come in, then go taper off. Now you'll notice that even at the end of that trill, I put a little vibrato in. In the high register, sometimes it would be better to get more of that cowboy type vibrato because the notes are so small, the reeds, that they aren't affected by the same way. Now, this is very similar to the way people play the violin, because you get on the note, then it starts to vibrate. And I use this constantly in classical music makes the phrase, the phrases have vibrato. Very similar. It's not like the flute. When you play a flute, the breath can be vibrated constantly and you just move the keys. You got to actually get on the note before you can do it. But you can go through button moves in the same breath flow and get vibrato the whole time. What other vibratos? There are a bunch that are odd, or one is a bend vibrato. That's if you go ya, 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 ya. You're bending. It's like in whistle, or maybe you. I suppose you could do it in tongue too. It's just basically bend. Wah, ya, 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 ya. And that motion, by the way, just pushing the harmonic in and out, causes a certain kind of vibrato. Basically because it's breaking the airflow. The other vibrato is possible. Tongue vibrato. I think John Sebastian Sr. used this. This is where you basically are saying la, 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 la. And that's like bringing the tongue, ya, 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 la, 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 even in tongue position. Breath vibrato. Toots used this. This is where you're just blowing and letting your diaphragm change the pressure of the breath. And if you listen to Toots, I think he's probably the best at doing that. Works great in jazz. But for classical music, I would suggest the left hand vibrato. It works the best. Okay, good luck with your playing.